Straddling the country's political scene like a colossus, Raila Odinga has acquired many names along the way. Tinga, Agwambo, Jacom, Baba, Orao, and now Joshua, following his pledge to deliver the country to what he calls the promised land of Canaan. Son of Kenya's first Vice President Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Raila has for many years been the fulcrum on which much of Kenya's politics stands. Now he is shouldering what is seen as one of the largest political coalitions ever assembled in the country, following the negotiated power deal that was unveiled on 27th April 2017. Will it be fourth time lucky for the man described as the enigma of Kenya's politics, or will what is undoubtedly his last bullet shoot wide?
Nasawa! Raila Nasawa!
This is beans.
At his home in Nairobi, 72-year-old Raila Amolo Odinga passes for an ordinary father and husband. But in this home tells abound of the eventful episodes that have defined the other life of the man, described by many as the enigma of Kenya's politics. As a young Turk, as many of his colleagues were known at the time, Raila joined forces with the veteran politicians, among them Kenneth Matiba, Charles Wanyoike Rubia, the now deceased Pius Masinde Muliro, his father Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, firebrand Martin Shikuku, Archbishop David Gitari, Reverend Timothy Njoya, High Court Advocate Paul Mwite, and Senior Counsel Senator James Orengo, among others, as they pushed for the repeal of Section 2A, which was ultimately achieved following sustained Sabasaba rallies of 1990 and 1991. His struggle for multi-party democracy in Kenya saw him pay the ultimate price: 3 detentions without trial. He recalls how his mother passed on in 1984 as he served detention following the aborted 1982 coup. Authorities never allowed him to attend the burial.
Wakati mama alipoaga, ndugu wangu mkubwa Dr. Oburu alinitumia mimi telegram kuniarifu ati mama ameondoka. Hiyo telegram ambaye alinitumia na vile vile akauliza serikali iniruhusu niweze kwenda kuzika mama yangu. Lakini tofauti na haya, hiyo telegram ilichukua miezi 3 kabla hawajanipatia hiyo telegram. Kwa hivyo nilikuja kujua baada ya miezi 3 ati mama alikuwa amefariki. Lakini nilikuwa nimeota kama ndoto nikiwa gerezani, kitu kimefanyika kwa mama yangu.
The third and final incarceration at Kamiti Maximum Prison was perhaps the worst. It's during this period that his health deteriorated, his eyesight was affected, and continues to tear until today.
I've also been in political detention for a long time. You saw me walk away from that place because of that light interferes with me, and you see my eyes sometimes watering because of damages I suffered when I was in the detention and the poor lighting in detention. That is what damaged my eyes. Now, I have continued on this because I represent the force for change in the country.
At the age of 47 in December 1992, the German-trained mechanical engineer engineered his way to Parliament when he was elected Lang'ata Member of Parliament on the ticket of Ford Kenya Party, which was at the time led by his father Jaramogi. However, his seemingly burning political ambition would see him embroiled in party power struggle in Ford Kenya with his then party leader, the now deceased Vice President Michael Kijana Wamalwa, following Jaramogi's death in early 1994. That struggle was to be defined by the memorable chaos at the aborted Ford Kenya meeting in Thika town.
We'll have another go. We are not giving up. The party is still there. The constitution has not been suspended. The NEC is still there. We'll have another go at another election.
Wamalwa Kijana is no longer chairman of Ford Kenya. Okay? Ford Kenya is now going from henceforth to be led by a caretaker committee.
The die had been cast. A Rubicon had been crossed. Raila Odinga resigned as Ford Kenya Member of Parliament, went through a by-election and reclaimed his seat on the ticket of his newly formed National Development Party, NDP. Using his new party, Raila had his first stab at presidency in 1997, finishing third after then President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi and DP's Mwai Kibaki. But he had announced his arrival on stage of presidential politics. His new name was now Tinga, translating to tractor, the symbol of his party at the time, NDP. On 18th March 2002, Raila shocked the country when he joined his arch nemesis at the time, President Daniel Arap Moi's party KANU, folding up his NDP to assume the powerful position of Secretary General in what was now dubbed the new KANU. Through the deal, he was appointed Minister for Energy.
We were an opposition party, but now we are in the government.
It was a political marriage that will crumble only a few months later when President Moi tapped Uhuru Kenyatta as his preferred successor.
Nataja moja kwanza, alafu watafanya na wengine. Na huyu mzee Uhuru Kenyatta.
KANU basi ndio hiyo. KANU hiyo sasa, mama na baba, Moi anakuja anasema anaona Uhuru ndio anatosha. Sasa pale tukapitana. Ya? Nikasema sasa imekuwa project haiwezekani sasa. Basi tukakosana, basi tukatoka.
Never to be written off, Raila staged a dramatic walkout, leaving the grand old party bare. He took with him a host of politicians who had for many years defined the public face of Independence Party. Among them Kalonzo Musyoka, Moody Awori, the now deceased Professor George Saitoti. Together they joined the Liberal Democratic Party LDP that would later team up with the Mwai Kibaki, Wamalwa Kijana and Charity Ngilu-led National Alliance Party to form the National Labour Coalition, NAC. A united, formidable alliance that would trounce Uhuru Kenyatta, bringing to an end KANU's 40-year rule.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki naapa kwamba.
With a new dawn in his political career, Raila was appointed Minister for Roads, Public Works and Housing as part of the power-sharing deal.
Mimi Raila Amolo Odinga naapa kwamba.
However, no sooner had they settled down Then cracks started emerging in NARC after then President Mwai Kibaki allegedly reneged on a pre-election MOU they had signed. Kibaki had publicly promised to deliver a new constitution within the first 100 days of assuming office. Multiple sources say that the new constitution would have created the office of Prime Minister to be occupied by Raila Odinga. That bit of the MOU was, however, not made public. Feeling cheated, the LDP wing of the coalition began agitating for what they insisted was their fair share of the bargain. The witty vice president at the time, Wamalwa Kijana, who is now deceased, hurriedly convened a government retreat at Mount Kenya Safari Club in Nanyuki in a bid to seal the emerging cracks in NARC. The president was still bedridden following the December 2002 accident.
I want us to be frank with each other, not to be clever with each other by playing some cards above the table while hiding dangerous ones below the table.
2005 tulipomweka President Kibaki kama candidate wa zisi zote pamoja wana Rainbow Movement, sasa pale na yeye pia akasema jameni, tutapadilisha katiba quickly within 90 days. Tukaandika hiyo famous MOU. MOU hiyo, memorandum of misunderstanding sometimes watu wengine wanaita. Sasa hiyo document haikuzingatiwa. Basi referendum ikaja, wako draft, Kilifi draft. Mimi na Raila tukasema hatuwezi kukubali hii sio ile katiba tulikubali.
The seeds of discord had been planted and the chicken would soon come to roost. That opportunity came in 2005 as President Kibaki and his side of the coalition tried to push through a constitution draft. The document was a watered-down version of the Bomas draft, which Raila and his team had spirited supported at the Bomas of Kenya amid a walkout by Kibaki's allies. The stage was now set for Raila's revenge. Supported by the leader of opposition at the time, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila rallied his troops around the orange side in opposing the draft as Kibaki gunned for a yes vote with the banana symbol.
This will be, yes, it should be like this. Yes, this will be, no.
In the end, the government was flawed and Kibaki answered in kind.
In accordance with the powers conferred upon me under the Constitution of Kenya, I have directed that the offices of all ministers and all assistant ministers become vacant.
But there was no turning back.
Tulikuwa na mwana Kibaki. Na mimi nilisimama hapa kwa uwanja huu na nikasema Kibaki tosha. Sio. Leo hii nimerudi tena katika uwanja wa Kisumu tarehe 16 Disemba kusema Kibaki toka.
The Orange had given birth to a political party that would give Kibaki a run for his money in 2007.
I, Raila Odinga, hereby submit my application to the people of Kenya for the position of president.
Behind Raila were notable names such as Musalia Mudavadi, William Ruto, Najib Balala, Joe Nyaga and Charity Ngilu, who together formed what came to be known as Pentagon.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu
In full realization of the high calling as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya.
The need to turn out in large numbers and to vote solidly for the NASA team, because clearly what they perceive to be a role in Jubilee is tokenism.
Tarehe 8 tutaanza safari ya kuvuka Jordan kuelekea kuingia Kanani. Mko tayari?
KTN News, your official election station.